All right, so DeCarlo, again, thank you for joining us on Good Morning SKN. Tell us about the motivation behind the launch of the Lia and Wally platform.
Well, behind the Lia Wally platform comes a long personal history of my interest in art and design, and my history in terms of doing poetry. This is something that I've always grown up with and always done. Lia Wally comes from my curiosity of the vervet monkeys that are in St. Kitts. You know, growing up in St. Kitts, Sandy Point, St. Kitts to be particular. Going up to Brimstone Hill, I always see these vervet animals, and just interacting with them gave me a curiosity and wondering how we can use these animals for good in our culture. I know some people see them as pests, some people see them as a joke at the beach, you know, making tourists and everyone laugh. But I view them as very interesting. One of my things that I always say, whether you find them amusing or annoying or just amazing, these animals are here living in SK and Nevis for a while they want to stay. I think they've inspired me in the sense that every year when I visit St. Kitts, I see they're coming closer and closer to the coastline, and I just thought that would be something interesting to use as a backdrop to help my son, my 4-year-old son, to learn the history and culture of St. Kitts and Nevis and of the Caribbean. So I've used it as part of his roots and representation education for his homeschooling, and it's been working quite well for him to learn the culture. And I've put this information out on social media just with a few friends. I've used animation and poetry and so on for him to learn, and people have responded well to it. So in September of September last year, we got organized and kind of just put everything together and presented it, and that's how Lia and Wally was born.
Yeah, nice. Lia and Wally have a series of cultural and social development projects. The current one is a page turning pages. Let's take a look at the promo video for this challenge.
This Black History, we would like to invest in the cultural awareness and in the pockets of 6 culturally engaged youth.
All right, first of all, DeCarlo, that was a very interesting video to watch. And when I see young people actually reading, that's quite interesting, fascinating, and motivating for me as well. So when we think about this, unfortunately, I couldn't hear the audio. I didn't have the benefit of the vantage point of our viewers. Yeah. So we'd like you now to explain what the initiative of the challenge is.
Mm-hmm. In October or so, we received a first video from a young girl, Paige Clark, who resides in Gingerland, Nevis, who took the initiative to send us a video to let us know that our content has been reached. We had put out a SKNIZ tour, which you can find on our website, on the home page and in the resource section. She accessed that video and was able to read the entire book throughout. It covers all the villages of St. Kitts and Nevis, and on each village there's a poem, and there's also animation. And so she reached out to us and said, hey, I really like this stuff. And she's been asking her aunt and her mom, hey, what's the cock and hen game? I've never heard about this before. Can we play it someday? Or, oh, I've never done pottery before. Can you take me out so we could try it sometime? Nice. And so this was very interesting to see her react this way to the content of Lia and Wally. And so this sparked the idea in me to come up with a promotion for our Black History Month, to be able to have other youth access the content and be impacted by the content of Lia and Wally as she did.
Any other tips, DeCarlo, quickly, for persons who are still interested?
Yes, so you can for sure find all of our information on our website, liawally.com, and on our website, please make sure you go to the homepage or the resource section. If you want a simple read of the SKNIZ tour, you can find it on the homepage. But if you want to have a more dynamic experience, you can go to the resources tab. The resources tab gives you the SKNIZ tour with music that was done by locals back home, with poetry and everything, and you're able to actually zoom through it and zoom in and zoom out of the content, and it's quite cool. So that's a good way to experience it. Support of parents and family members is definitely encouraged. So what we want you to do is to go on and view the SKNIZ tour, read the entire thing all the way through. Now, no cheating now. It is something that you have to actually partake in order for you to answer the question on the quiz. But the first step of the challenge is to read it all the way through. It starts at Camps Village in St. Kitts and goes all the way around St. Kitts, takes the boat over to Nevis, and goes all the way around until it ends at Prospect Village, Nevis. And all you have to do is record a 1-minute video of yourself reading the village that you're from, the page of the village that you're from. And that's the first challenge. And the second part of the challenge is to submit 25 correctly answered questions from the Lia Wally trivia, which is based on that tool. They're fun and interesting questions that you can engage with. And they're good for all ages, from grade 1 to 6 are welcome to enter into the competition. And yeah.
Karlo, that there's something that you want to explain. So please, go right ahead.
Yeah. So if you look at my the screen here, I just wanted to share a little bit of something about the animation and also about Lia Wally himself. So it's Lia, L-I-A, and her name comes from the indigenous name of St. Kitts, Liamiga. So that's from the first 3 letters, Liamiga. And we look here, Wally, his name comes from Uwali, which is the indigenous name for Nevis. So just wanted to be creative with their names as well, so that our youth can stay in touch with that part of their roots.
I like it. Really thoughtful.
Me too. That was deep. Okay. How does Lia Wally's traditional saying Tuesday help children decode the saying of their grandparents and other elders of the community?
So this really is hopefully supposed to be an experience where individuals will go on and go back to their parents, go back to their families and interact. I was questioning whether I should just give the answers right out there, but I've created challenges here and there when people messaged me to say, okay, that's really cool. Now go back and teach that to your sons and your daughters, or your niece and your nephew, or ask your grandma a question. So the reality of this is it's trying to create that interaction that we all need to be able to have those conversations about culture. And so Lia Wally is not meant to just put everything on a plate there, even though creatively we can, but we're trying to foster that kind of dialogue.
I think it's a great idea. It's one of the ways that you ensure that our culture continues to have meaning for the younger generation. So very good job indeed. Yeah. All right, I want to talk to you very briefly about the KJ's Loving My Belly. That's such a creative web series. What traditional foods has KJ tried?
Well, he's tried a lot so far, but in terms of us putting it out, we've done a series on the coconut. We've done one on breadfruit. I remember him trying breadfruit for the first time, not being sure. Whenever we travel throughout the Caribbean, or someone will bring something back, we've always tried or visit the local stores here. So we've had he's had our national dish before, he's had some Jamaican food before, he's had roti and different things like that. So from all around the Caribbean. And so these episodes are basically KJ and his mom Michelle making these interesting meals and sharing it with the world. Sometimes we're going to try to do some fusions of different foods from different cultures and ask people to give it a try. It's just something fun for us to educate our young people, especially here in the diaspora as well. Lia Wally, I like to see it as a global initiative, and with the tradition and division roots. So As I said, culture is not where you live, but it's how you live. And a lot of citizens and individuals out here in the diaspora who would love to get back in touch with those roots, like what do we eat, how do we prepare it, and so on. So KJ's Loving My Belly with Lia Wally definitely provides that.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. What else are you up to in Canada?
Say that again?
What else are you up to in Canada? Is this your only project?
Well, Lia Wally does other projects. So recently we just did some work with the Caribbean Association for Black people here in the Kitchener-Waterloo region. And so we just did some features for Black History Month, engaging with some advocacy work within the region. Also, I've done my own work on the side in terms of counseling, and so it all falls into social development. My background in social development, it kind of fits with what we're trying to do here with these projects for Black History Month. So this is one of the first ones. We're hoping to put the SKNIZ tour into a book that citizens and individuals can have in their hand, that they can say, hey, this is a book that's specifically about St. Kitts and Nevis that includes every single village. And so this is something that we're trying to do, just creating representation for our youth worldwide, wherever they may be.
Karlo, very engaging conversation, very impressive work. I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us all about it here on Good Morning SKN, and of course, wherever you are in Canada and wherever you may be later on in life. All the best to you. Thank you for taking St. Kitts and Nevis to the world.
Thank you so much. And make sure you go out and like Lia Wally, like our Facebook page, Instagram, check us out on YouTube, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And check our website out for more on the competition. Share it, share the good news. This $1,000 Canadian split evenly between the 6 hardworking winners.